He ran, but he was too late. Nama laid still, her beautiful scales covered in dirt and blood. "You have killed them both," Malu whispered. "My love and my child." Welcome to Juliet's story. Today's story is titled, "They Killed the Pregnant Mermaid, Not Knowing She Was Pregnant for the Prince." A long time ago, in the great kingdom of Abam, there was a wild and beautiful river called Iyi River. But this was no ordinary water. Deep beneath its waters lived the osangos, mystical beings who were half human and half fish. They had lived in the river for many, many years, sharing the waters with the humans. Every morning, children would run to the river bank, kicking up dust as they raced. "Look, the osangos are here," one child would shout, pointing at the water where shimmering blue scales flashed beneath the surface. The adults would gather too, smiling as they watched the osangos swim close. Sometimes, the osangos would wave at the humans, and the humans would wave back. The fishermen made sure never to disturb the osangos' home, and the osangos never harmed the humans. But peace never lasts forever, they said. So one early morning, a respected fisherman named Bako went out to fish. The sun was just rising, and a soft mist floated over the water. Bako threw his nets as he always did, but this time they landed near an area where young osangos' children were playing. An osango warrior rose from the water, his voice sharp with warning. "Human, you are too close to our children. You want to harm them?" Bako pulled at his net. "I have fished here for over 30 years. These waters belong to everyone." "Not where our children swim," the osango warrior shouted, his face dark with anger. More osangos surfaced, their eyes filled with worry. Then something terrible happened. One of the osangos' children, a young boy, got too close to the net and became tangled. "My son!" an osango mother screamed, rushing to free him. Bako held on his net tightly, afraid of losing his only way to feed his family. The osangos tried to save the child, pulling and tugging. But in the struggle, the little one was hurt. The osangos' grief turned into fury. Before the humans could react, Bako was dragged into the river. His lifeless body was found floating in the river hours later. The news reached King Jabari quickly. He sat on his golden throne, his face growing dark as he listened to the elders tell him what had happened. "Your Majesty," an elder said, "the people are afraid. If the osangos can kill our best fisherman, who will they take next?" King Jabari rose from his throne, his voice thundering through the palace. "Send word to every village along the river. The osangos have broken our trust." That evening, the king stood on the palace steps and spoke to the people. "They have taken one of our own," he roared. "From this day forward, no osango shall be allowed to swim at the surface of the Iyi River. If any dare disobey, they shall be punished with death." Fear spread throughout the kingdom. The osangos, heartbroken and angry, retreated to the deepest part of the river. There, they built their own kingdom under the rule of King Gwe, a wise and powerful leader. Many years passed. In the underwater kingdom, life continued. But Princess Nama, King Gwe's daughter, was different. She was full of curiosity, and she often asked questions about the world above. One day, while helping her mother Queen Zala prepare for festival, she finally spoke the question in her heart. Mother, what is it like at the surface? Queen Zala hesitated. Why do you ask? I hear the elders talk about it. They mention something called sunlight. What is it? How does it look like? Queen Zala sighed. Well, my daughter, sunlight is warmth. It is golden and bright, and it makes the world glow with life. What about the humans? Nama asked. She was eager to know. What were they like before? Well, they walked on two legs instead of swimming with tails, Zala said. Long ago, we were friends. Children will wave to us and we will wave back at them. Then why can't we talk to them anymore? Because one terrible day changed everything. Fear and anger made us enemies. Now we must stay here where it is safe. But Nama couldn't understand. She couldn't stop wondering about the surface. Every night, when everyone was asleep, she swam as high as she dared. Just below the surface, she could see the moonlight. She danced on the water, and she longed to know more. One night, Prince Malu, son of King Jabari, walked alone by the river. He was troubled. His father wanted him to marry a princess from another kingdom, but Malu wanted to marry for love. He sighed and sat on a fallen log, just staring at the river. Then he saw something that made his heart stop. A head rose from the water, followed by the most beautiful face he had ever seen. An osango. Her scales shimmered under the moonlight, her dark eyes full of wonder. Please, she whispered, don't call the guards. You shouldn't be here, Malu said softly. It's dangerous. I know, Nama said, moving closer. But I had to see the surface. It's so different from our world. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. I'm Malu, he said. I'm Nama, she responded. That night, they talked for hours, sharing their worlds with each other. And just like that, love was born. Night after night, Nama and Malu met in secret. They laughed, they dreamed, and they fell deeply in love. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. So one day, Nama realized something. She was carrying Malu's child. She told her mother. Queen Zala gasped. Who is the father? Nama hesitated. After much pressure, she She then whispered to the mother, Malu the prince. It is Malu the prince. Queen Zala's face turned pale. Have you lost your mind? He is the son of the king who banished us. Desperate, Nama fled to the surface to find Malu, but she was seen. The villagers shouted. Nets flew. Rough hands grabbed her, pulling her onto the shore. Please, she begged. I mean no harm. No harm, a fisherman shouted. Like your people meant no harm to Bako and killed the most powerful fisherman we had. They beat her. She tried to protect her unborn child, but the blows kept coming. In the palace, Malu heard the commotion. He ran, but he was too late. Nama lay still, her beautiful scales covered in dirt and blood. You have killed them both, Malu whispered. Oh, my love. Oh, my child. Malu cried. From the river came a deep rumbling sound. The water churned. Kingwe and an army of osangos rose from the depths. Their eyes filled with grief and rage. They were ready for war. But before the first strike, Queen Zala stepped forward. My daughter died for love, she said, her voice steady. Let her death be the last. Let this be a lesson. Hate only brings more hate, but love could have given us peace. The humans and osangos listened, and for the first time in years, there was an understanding. A new agreement was made. The osangos were no longer forbidden from the surface, and humans promised to never attack them again. As for Prince Malu, he never married again. Every night, he sat by the river, remembering the love that had changed two kingdoms. And so the river carried their story, whispering it to the wind, whispering it to the trees and to the stars, so that no one will ever forget. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please do well to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment. It encourages me to do more. And if this is your first time of coming across my channel, you are highly welcomed. I appreciate. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are simply amazing. Thank you so much. I love you all and I appreciate. See you in my next one. Bye.